Delco Casino, Potawatomi is where you want to be. The home of America's high-stakes bingo hall located in downtown Milwaukee, too. For our second music performance, here's a group called 100% Natural, an African-American quintet who sing doo-wop.
And Jesus told his disciples to say, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen, amen, amen.
Okay, what can I do for you folks? Hey, Doc Severinsen! Hey, got Doc Severinsen here! All right,
How you doing, Tony?
my old friend says I never forget a suit.
Well, I don't know, Tony. I'm kind of quiet.
Yeah, you're very subdued with a Western look. Say, what brings you back into town?
Listen, you ought to see my shorts. I mean, I'm in
That'll be for a later show. Say, what brings you back into town? I hear you're doing the Milwaukee Pops concert again.
Oh yeah, I'm here with the orchestra regularly. I'm the regular Pops director, and I get in here about 4 or 5 times a year, and have a little place where I hang out. And I was out for a walk, kind of get a little fresh air, and
Nice day for it.
I heard a lot of people having a real good time, so I thought I'd come in and check it out.
Well, you've come to the right place. If you're anyone who's anyone, you're here right now, let me tell you.
Is that right?
Yeah, now, over the years, you've traveled all over the country, all over the world, and you've come back to Milwaukee quite often. What do you like about our little brew town?
I like the sausages. I think they do the thing I like best. In fact, I have a cot over at the Usinger factory. I pretty much stay there. I tell you, in all seriousness, what I like about Milwaukee, and first of all, Tony, do you notice how I know how to pronounce that? It's not Milwaukee, is it?
Milwaukee.
It's Milwaukee. Yeah, there you go. And by the way, my daughter sang with a vocal group here umpteen years ago called the Brothers and Sisters. So she lived here for a while. What I like about Milwaukee is that it has all the conveniences and the style of a very large city, but it has the attitude and the feeling of a smaller town. Everybody seems to know everybody. There's not a lot of pressure, and it's just a delightful place.
That's the only town where you can get lasagna, a brat, and a punchki on the side. This is a town of food.
And that's what I had last night.
You got to eat that health food. You got to watch every little intake. You got to watch. I even heard you working out at the Y in town. Somebody said they spied you.
Yeah, over at the 411 building. The Y that's over there.
Right, and then they said that the spandex outfit you had on was a killer.
Well, I did try to style a little bit, but they weren't too keen on letting me in, but they finally gave in.
Fabulous. Well, I'll tell you, you have one on the house for me. If I come back later, can I get an autograph for my mom?
Absolutely.
Great, because you know, next to Tommy Newsom, you're her second favorite musician.
Well, I'm in good company.
Fabulous. Hey, John Gurda. John Gurda, Milwaukee's favorite historian. You know, I've been wondering something. All through the years, Milwaukee always seems to stay the same size. We don't grow, we don't shrink, we're not a boom town, we're not a bust town. Has that always been like that?
For a long time, and I think I've got a few numbers here that may demonstrate some of the points that Doc was making about how Milwaukeeans like Milwaukee and tend to stay here. It's no secret that things have been difficult for northern cities in the years since World War II. Look at some numbers. Since 1960, St. Louis has lost 47% of its population, Cleveland 42%, Detroit 38%. Even Minneapolis, that tends to enjoy good press, lost about 24% of its population. By contrast, Milwaukee reached its peak in 1960 and has declined to only 15% since that time. And relatively, that makes us kind of an island of stability, oasis of stability. And I think what it points to is the quality of life here that keeps people here, and if they go away, tends to make them come back, at least for visits on occasion.
That's right, we're a unique little village, I'll tell you that. Hey, speaking of leaving and coming back, Paul Nannis, how are you, sir?
I didn't have time to perfect my magic act I was going to do today.
That really breaks me out.
I was going to make the band disappear, but they haven't even showed up yet. But I do have a true story that I knocked at the door. And he went to the door, he opened it, and nobody was there. He's looking around, he looks down, and there on the ground was a snail. She said, what the heck? He picked up that snail and just whipped that thing as far as he could. Now, 10 years later to the day, this happened, honest to God, as far as my buddy. 10 years later, he's in his living room watching TV, and there's a knock at the door. Goes to the door, opens, there's nobody there. He looks down, there's a snail. Snail says, what'd you do that for? Okay, I gotta go though.
Jimmy, the bellboy. John Schneider, what you say, John?
The great Cole Porter song from 1937 called In the Still of the Night, featuring Rip Tenor on sax, Victor DeLorenzo on drums, Dereszynski on guitar, Dave Maleckar on bass, and Lee on piano.